Hello everybody, today I'll be running you through the 400 events, also known as the Digital Communication and Design events. So digital communication and design is a very important area of the business field that focuses on the abilities to communicate information in different ways, whether it's for advertising, promotion, or just any way that you need to create different forms of media in the business world. In BPA, this section of our events really helps build these skills for the different marketing and communication skills that you need, as well as just further your computer skills through different types of softwares and applications. Some of the courses that our district has to offer that may help you in events in this category are video game design, web page coding, and social media marketing and web design. So now let's get into the actual events themselves. So first up, we have desktop publishing, and there are two different sections of desktop publishing, fundamental and advanced. You do have to take fundamental desktop publishing before you can compete in advanced desktop publishing, and you can only compete in fundamental desktop publishing for one season or year, and then you must move on to advanced in future years. So the event itself, fundamental desktop publishing, really takes on creating different types of documents that businesses may need in publishing softwares like Microsoft Publisher, or Adobe InDesign. The main proficiency that you have to demonstrate in this event is using those softwares to create this variety of different documents. And in doing so, you'll have to use different principles of design in presenting the text and graphics that you'll need in these different documents. And then in the advanced category, it'll be all of the same stuff as fundamental, but it's a little bit wider, and we'll use Adobe Illustrator, Adobe Photoshop, and Adobe InDesign. And in addition to the different knowledge that you need in fundamental, you'll have to be able to show that you understand color management, in-depth typography knowledge through different types of leading, kerning, tracking, and font choice. And then it's also a little bit broader in the types of things you may be creating. You may be asked to create more than just simple business documents. You may have to create designs that work on mobile devices or can be interactive and can be digital publications, whereas fundamental is more so the flyers, posters, business cards, that sort of business document. Next up, we have a couple different website design categories. These are not as related to each other as the desktop publishing events. First up, we have fundamentals of web design. And this is basically BPA's main HTML as well as CSS coding event. So you'll have to demonstrate your knowledge of different elements of those website building coding languages, such as tags, format and font, accessibility standards, cross-browser capabilities, different attributes of tables, images, and as well as hyperlinks. So the main focus of this event will be to take the prompt you're given at your test and turn it into a website. And then you will also have an objective multiple choice test to complete, as well as creating the website based on the prompt. All of the events I've mentioned so far have been test events where you just show up on the day of the conference and they'll give you the instructions for your event, and you'll sit down for, usually it's 90 minutes, some are 60, to create whatever you need to create or take whatever test you need to take. And then we have a website design team, which is very similar to fundamentals of web design, but this addresses some other areas of website design, such as more broad accessibility concerns. I know they focus on some ADA requirements. You also may be asked to use multimedia, more in-depth site content, as well as your scripting skills and your knowledge of copyright laws and your understanding of a target audience in creating your website. This event is a pre-submit event, so that means you'll have to submit the main content usually 2 to 3 weeks before the conference, and then you'll also have to give a presentation to some sort of judge on the day of the conference, showcasing your website and kind of just explaining your processes in creating it, and they'll ask you questions to make sure you really know what you're talking about, and they'll ask you about how you split up the roles in your team to create the website, and they'll judge you on how well you split up the work and how well you're able to fully explain your content that you created. Being a pre-submit, there's usually a specific topic that you must create your website around every year. This year, the topic is to develop a website with tips and tricks and resources for your community to reduce its carbon footprint. The next event I'll be talking about is a graphic design promotion. This is another pre-submit event, and this one focuses on demonstrating effective use of different graphic design techniques like color, lines, text, graphics, shapes, typography, and more. The main focus of this event is to create a flyer, a logo, and a tagline for the topic, and the topic is always to develop these things for the future leadership conference of the next year of BPA. This one you'll also have to give a presentation, as with every other pre-submit, in really just explaining your thinking behind the different aspects of your designs, and such as, why you chose the colors you did, why you chose the tagline you did, and really just explaining why you put together what you did and how you went through that process. Another pre-submit up next we have is digital media production. And this one, you'll be creating a short video. The topic this year is to create a video unboxing using or reviewing a new tech tool or item. So through this, you'll have to obviously create the video. And then what they're really looking for is for you to demonstrate your understanding of the target audience of your video, as well as how well you're able to utilize various software in creating digital media, as well as a slight aspect of graphic design within your video. Again, you'll have to give a presentation explaining your different processes, and this one specifically, you'll have to go into what kinds of technology you used and how and why you used those, as well as everything previously, like the processes and exactly why you did everything you did. Next up, we have computer modeling, which this one is a relatively popular event where you have to research the topic you're given and then create a profile, concept designs, prototypes, and then a final model of your design to fit the topic. The judges are really looking for your knowledge in lighting and texture, different geometry aspects of your objects, artistic techniques, obviously copyright laws, and then as well as your presentation and work skills to kind of look at it in a real world business sort of lens. And then again, you'll have to give a presentation on everything above. And the topic this year is to design a new outdoor play area for your local park that is inclusive for all ages and all abilities. There's some examples of what they're really looking for on the WASAB guide, and your advisors should be able to get you that. Some of the things they mention are sensory objects, as well as things like pickleball courts to appeal to older ages. Another pre-submit event we have is the video production team. Similar to the digital media production, but you create a 3 to 5 minute video production based on the topic this year being a persuasive video convincing your school board or administration to start, overhaul, or revamp an esports program on your campus. The judges in this event are looking for your knowledge of the video editing and your different processes going through the video creation, your camera work, such as lightings and transitions within your video, the placement of different visuals or graphics and text over your video, and as well as your understanding of the target audience of your video, that being the school board or administration. And then again, you'll have to give a presentation on your different processes and your thought processes of going through this event. Next up, we have computer animation team. And this event, you will create a 3D computer animation no longer than 2 minutes based on the topic. The topic this year being a parody of your team's favorite movie or music video. So you'll take that movie or music video and turn it into a 2-minute animation of a parody of that. The judges are looking for you to demonstrate knowledge of editing, obviously, in animation with different effects, whether that be text effects or special effects, as well as textures, lighting, transition, and audio. And then you'll also have to create a storyboard for your animation, and you'll also have to understand your target audience for your video. Presentation, again, you'll have to explain the processes behind everything you did to create your computer animation, and as well as explaining your team roles as it is a team event. Next up being broadcast news production team. This is a 3 to 5 minute production as if it were a live news story, containing 2 different stories, as well as a 15 to 20-second teaser on one of the stories. The topic this year for broadcast news production team is that one story should focus on a topic in your local community or your BPA chapter, and the second story should focus on a national issue. It's pretty open-ended. You just have to make each one of your stories contain something from one of those specifications, and then you only need to create a teaser for one of those stories, and then both stories have to fit within that 3 to 5 minute production. It's not 2 different 3 to 5 minute productions. The judges are looking for you to demonstrate your knowledge of scripting of the video, as well as your storytelling abilities within the video, your video production skills in editing the video, shooting the video, different transitions and things like that, as well as the more nitty-gritty news telling or news broadcasting techniques in really getting information across and explaining the different stories to the audience more than just telling it like it's a story. You really need to get the facts and things across in this event. Now we have our pilot events. Podcast production team isn't really a true pilot as they had it last year, but they've decided to keep it a pilot event this year. And podcast production itself is a 3 to 5 minute audio only discussion of content and opinions related to the topic. The topic this year is showcasing the impact and sustainability of TikTok compared to other forms of social media video platforms. So you and your team will create a 3 to 5 minute video talking about your opinions on the matter, as well as bringing in like scientific research and different articles or essays or studies that have been written about the topic. The judges are looking for your knowledge of the audio production of the podcast, as well as editing of the audio and scripting of the discussion and content. You'll also be graded, obviously, on the content of the podcast itself, and you will again have a presentation on all of what I've just mentioned, as well as how your team really broke it down. A pilot that is brand new this year is the user experience design team using Adobe XD. And in this event, this is a very new event to BPA and is very different than anything that's really been brought to BPA before. For this event, you'll have to prototype a digital experience for a brand's event. And this will entail creating a promotional landing page or website, a mobile app, and a social media campaign for the event. That is the topic, is creating the promotional landing page and all of that with it to really get across what this brand is looking for in putting on their event. You get to pick the event yourself, whether it's a school event, a sporting event, a brand's like showcasing event, something that people are going to be coming to and needing to get the information from the website, get the on-demand user experience from the mobile app before and during the event, as well as a social media campaign to promote the event beforehand. The judges will be looking for you to demonstrate an effective strategy, effective accessibility for your target audience, as well as using principles of design, interactivity, engagement, and communication skills to really get all the information out to your target audience and get them as engaged theoretically as possible with coming to this event and it being successful. You'll again have to give a presentation on all of what I've just mentioned, as well as how your team broke down the responsibilities in creating the 3 different aspects of this event. Finally, we have our open event for this category, being just called Digital Communication and Design Open Event. This is a 60-minute objective test, multiple choice, and true-false questions. That doesn't mean it will take 60 minutes. That means you have 60 minutes to take the test. You'll have to demonstrate the knowledge of everything listed here. It's basically just something from every event in this category that you'll have to demonstrate some sort of background knowledge in to get across and show that you know these things in answering the questions. Thank you for watching the 400 event video. I hope you gained a little more knowledge about the different events, and maybe I helped you choose what events you really wanted to do. The 400s are a very broad category, and there are so many different things you can do in this, whether it's podcast production or the new pilot events or even a creating a news broadcast. This is a very broad category, and I encourage you deeply to look into the different events within this category. Thank you.